What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Manga Sutra manga review. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a romance school life shonen manga called Kanojo Okarishimasu by Miyajima Reiji. I'm going to be going on a tangent about how plot pacing and the main character ruin this romance manga and make it one of the worst romance mangas that I've ever read. The art style and the character designs for a lot of the characters, from Kazuya to Chizuru to Kibe to Sumi and Mami, is really amazing. There's a lot of emotion or a lack of emotion portrayed in these character designs. Some of the panels are really aesthetically pleasing. And I would say that out of a lot of romance mangas, this is one of the best romance mangas that I've ever read from aesthetic standpoint. However, I will say from a plot standpoint, there's very little progression, very little growth from the start of the manga to about 260 where I'm at. So, getting into the plot, the main character Kazuya gets broken up with by his girlfriend Mami for another man, and they've only been dating for about a month. Kazuya is absolutely devastated about the breakup, so in order to get over the breakup, he goes on his first date with a rental girlfriend called Chizuru Mizuhara. So, things get progressively more complicated with Chizuru Mizuhara as he introduces her to his friends. He introduces her to his grandmother who's in the hospital. And then it turns out she also has a grandmother in the hospital. Their grandmothers know each other, and on top of knowing each other, their grandmothers are really good friends. And things get even more complicated as they are actually going to the same university. They are actually living in the same apartment complex, and she lives right across from it. And despite Chizuru telling Kazuya that she's doing all of this stuff because she is being a good girlfriend as a rental girlfriend, and despite dismissing any potential feelings that are there or any actions that she does that goes far beyond what a rental girlfriend should do, she brushes it off as she is being his rental girlfriend until he finds a real girlfriend. And anything that she does develop, or any feelings that are there, or any actions that she could do, would be improper and not respectful of her other clients, you know? And that's just an ongoing narrative that Chizuru hides behind to just keep the plot from progressing. My other clients wouldn't like this. This wouldn't be fair to my other clients. And to be fair, Kazuya has rented Chizuru for over a year and a half at this point. And it's like what, $200, $300 a date for a year and a half. He spent over 1 million yen on Chizuru and renting only Chizuru pretty much. And I don't know. I don't know how you can drop 1 million yen on someone and not have any type of relationship whatsoever. And this is one of those will they, won't they be together type of romance mangas, which to me is one of the more interesting, one of the more fun mangas to read because you honestly do like to see the progression and the growth of the relationship over the time that you read the manga. However, it's very painful to read this chapter to chapter at this point, mainly because the main character, Kazuya, doesn't really grow as a character throughout the entirety of this manga. And what I mean by that is the first, I'd say 50, 60 chapters, Kazuya is a virgin. He is a little insecure. He's a little introverted, a little shy. And when people see Chizuru and then they see Kazuya, it's very apparent that she's out of his league. His grandmother says it, Kibe says it, strangers say it, and he feels it. And I think at first when I was reading the manga, it was okay. You know, it was okay for him to feel like she was out of his league. But as the manga has progressed, as things have progressed, there have been several events in which he should have developed a little bit more of a positive view of himself. He leapt into a river to save Chizuru when she fell overboard when she was sick. He crowdfunded 1.8 million yen to film a movie for Chizuru. He put together a film crew. He put together actors, a director, a writer. He set up filming locations. He helped with the filming. He moved equipment around. He was pretty much actively involved every step of the way. He put together a team to crowdfund all the money. He has introduced her to his family. They have given Chizuru a very precious gift that has been passed down through the family. Chizuru's grandmother approves of him. Everybody that can see the two of them knows that there is actual feelings there, that Chizuru does feel some type of way about him, and that he clearly feels some type of way about Chizuru. And you would think throughout all of this, that would give him a little bit of confidence, just a smidge, just a smidge. But 260 plus chapters in, he still has this self-deprecating view of himself. Every single time he sees Chizuru, and I mean every single time he sees Chizuru, every single time. That's what makes this so painful to read. Every single chapter, every other chapter, there is an obligatory simp page. There is one page or 3 pages where he just rants the entire page about how perfect Chizuru looks, or how much of an angel she is, or how considerate and how kind and how caring she is, and how much of a loser he is, and how he doesn't deserve her, or how she's probably spending time with another man, or how he'll never have someone like Chizuru, or how they aren't together and there's this distance between them. You are literally living right across from her. She goes to see you. She goes out of her way to get you gifts. She goes out of her way to make sure you're okay. She stayed with you when you were hungover. Like, what is not getting through to your brain that she likes you? And I think a lot of progress could be made in this manga if they actually just took the time out to communicate. And you know what? The thing is, Chizuru may not be against communication. I think Chizuru is open to talking. A lot of points in this manga, Chizuru has said, Kazuya hasn't told me he has feelings for me. Kazuya hasn't expressed this. And it's not that she's against liking Kazuya, it's just that at certain points in this manga, Kazuya just hasn't communicated it at all. And then when he actually tries to work up the courage to communicate it, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. And so we have to get to a point in the manga where other characters have to force the plot along. There has to be dramatic events which force their relationship to progress. Because if not, we are at a standstill for like 50 to 100 chapters. And that's the frustrating part. Things have to happen in the manga to force them to actually be together, to force them to have to actually communicate directly with each other in order to push along the relationship and push along the plot with it. And I can say at this point, I think Chizuru deserves a lot better. A lot better. But also, I think like as far as like characters that I could see Kazuya with, honestly, I don't think Kazuya really should be dating anybody because he's just a terrible character. He's a terrible character. One of the more frustrating plot points in this manga is his relationship with Ruka. Ruka blackmails him into dating her, and they're supposed to be trial dating. However, it's very apparent how much he really likes or how much he loves Chizuru, and Ruka knows this. However, Ruka goes out of her way to cock block Kazuya and Chizuru. She goes out of her way to be really disrespectful or really rude to any girl that Kazuya might be romantically interested in or might have an interest in Kazuya. And her main reason for dating Kazuya is that he makes her heart race. And I'm just I don't get it. You know, a lot of things can make your heart race. You can run and your heart can race. You can be scared and your heart can race. You know, one person, just because they make your heart race doesn't necessarily make them a life partner. That's all I'm just gonna say. It doesn't necessarily make them somebody that you should spend the rest of your life with. You lots of people can make your heart race. So Ruka is just really kind of annoying after a certain point. When she's first introduced, it's really nice. She's kind of cute. A lot of people argue that she was like the best girl at the time and that she was very direct. She was willing to fight for what she wants. She was willing to fight for the relationship. She introduced herself to his family. She tried to make it known that she is very important to Kazuya. She wanted that girlfriend spot. She wanted that girlfriend title. She was willing to, you know, really fight for not only his affection, but to be recognized by his family, which at the start is really cute, but when she starts just kind of like actively cock blocking, going out of her way to keep insisting that she's his girlfriend and tell him that she will either allow him to see Chizuru or not allow him to see Chizuru, it becomes really grating because she blackmailed him into dating her. This is a forced relationship and it is a trial relationship. And then after a certain point when Kazuya wants to break up with her, she doesn't accept the breakup. And I can say at 260, as far as I know, they're still together. So it's just really weird. It's really weird because I do feel like Ruka deserves better. She deserves someone that is able to love her the way she loves Kazuya and is able to reciprocate her feelings. Kazuya often forgets that they set plans together. Kazuya often finds it annoying to even text her. He finds it annoying to even spend time with her. And Kazuya, he's willing to do all of these things with Chizuru, no problem. But Ruka, it's really a chore for him to do that. And yeah, it's just like I feel bad for Ruka at some points, but then at the same time, like Ruka brings it on herself. Like you see how this guy is treating you. You know that you shouldn't have to ask for these things with someone that you genuinely love and that you're genuinely dating. And when he's asking to break up with you, you still decide to stay together with him. So like, what do you exactly want from him? You know, what do you want from him? As far as Chizuru, her character growth, her development, I'd say that Chizuru isn't perfect. She's not perfect, but I'd say like from the start of the manga to the point that we are now, I think Chizuru's made a lot more progress than Kazuya. We moved away from this whole it's improper as a rental girlfriend and my clients wouldn't like this narrative that she kept using to kind of put distance between her and Kazuya. And now they're like living together now she's a little bit more direct, she's a lot more considerate, she's willing to talk to him and just have these one-on-one interactions, go out with him, stuff like that. But it's so grating. It's so grating. Kazuya is just so grating because everything she does, everything she does, he is overreacting about. He is just like, wow, she brushes her teeth? That's crazy. Wow, she bathed in this water? This water's divine. Oh my god. She actually runs in the morning? Like that's unreal. Like it's like Kazuya has never seen a girl. It's like he never knew women existed and it's so frustrating to have to deal with that. It's so frustrating to have to read that every single chapter. To have to hear that he's just amazed and shook about everything that she does. And like he's such a creep. He's such a creep. Like he thinks about how she sleeps, like what she wears when she sleeps, how she showers. Like it's just weird. 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 And It's just weird. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just weird. His lack of confidence in himself, the self-deprecation, the simping, and then just the over the top overthinking, overreacting, like the perverted thoughts. It's just really, really painful to read this chapter to chapter. I can say that I think the best person for Kazuya, if it wasn't Chizuru, it would be Sumi. Sumi and Kazuya have the most wholesome interactions I've ever seen in this manga. Every single time they interact with each other, there is there's a positive takeaway from it. And Sumi, she's very introverted. She doesn't really talk that much. Kazuya, he's kind of shy, but like around Sumi, he's more verbal. He's more direct. He's more of a person to take like a leadership role when they are out together. And he brings Sumi out of her shell, or he makes Sumi feel comfortable, even if she's introverted, even if she's not saying much. He doesn't really force her to do much or say much. They just enjoy the time with each other. They're able to cry. They're able to be very vulnerable and very open with each other, and I do like that. So if he didn't end up with Chizuru, I would really want him to end up with Sumi. Like full send. I would want him to end up with Sumi, no one else. Mommy, as a character in this manga, she's just the devil, bro. She's the devil incarnate. She's every toxic ex personified. She sees that Kazuya is out with this attractive girl, and she is dead set on nuking that relationship. She is dead set on just not seeing Kazuya happy, and it's weird. It's just so weird. And even Chizuru pointed out, she's so obsessed with making sure that Kazuya isn't happy, and Kazuya has done nothing but really support her and really like apologize to her, and he feels bad about inconveniencing her, and she's the one that broke up with him for seemingly another guy. But as we see throughout this manga, anytime guys want to talk to her, she just tells them to fuck off. Like most of the time, the most disturbing thing about Mommy, if this wasn't a romance manga, I could swear that this is a horror manga, is just the pitch black darkness in Mommy's eyes when she just spaces out. Like, there are moments where, like, if you put a knife in her hand, this could have easily became a horror manga. Easily. And I think throughout most of the manga, halfway through the manga, I hated Mommy. I hated her guts. I still do. But she pushed the plot along halfway through the manga with a major event that forces Kazuya and it forces Chizuru to have to make a big leap in their relationship or have to make a big leap towards a relationship. And I do have to thank Mommy for that because if not, we would probably not be where we're at right now. At 260 chapters in, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. But yeah, I don't know. Like this manga is very frustrating. It's very frustrating. It's aesthetically nice to look at. Like I like seeing Chizuru. I like seeing like her fashion style. I like seeing just like everyday like shots of her like just at home reading or just like lost in thought or thinking of Kazuya. Or I do like these large panel shots of like Kazuya confessing his feelings to her. Just like there are moments when Kazuya really mans up and he says exactly what is on his mind to Chizuru, and it's very endearing. It's very nice. However, those moments often get erased by the constant barrage of self-deprecation that he has, and the praise that he throws on Chizuru every single chapter about how she's just angel, like how she's an angel and how she's perfect, and just how much he's a loser. And it's just like, I know you're a loser. I don't need you to remind me that every 3 pages. Like, I really don't. Like, have some faith in yourself. Have some self-respect. And one of my subscribers was telling me to look out for like a certain chapter and like a certain page. And I got to the chapter and I don't know what it is about Kazuya, but he has some weird fascination with fantasizing Chizuru with other men, and I just don't understand it. Like, do you want to be cheated on? Do you want to be in that type of situation where she's with another man and there's nothing you could do about it? Like what is going on, Kazuya? And I have to say, like, this reminds me of another manga that is the complete opposite of it. Yancha Gal no Anjo-san, I think. And in that manga, it's the girl that is being direct and is being forward and is being very provocative. And it's the nerdy, introverted, shy guy. And I can say this as like an ending point for my video. Almost any other romance MC is a better fit for Chizuru, is more direct than Kazuya is at this point. Anybody is better for her. Anybody's more direct, they're more communicative, they're more assertive, they have more self confidence than Kazuya. And I mean anybody. So, would I recommend reading this manga? I mean, there's a lot of chapters. If you're like somebody that likes to read a manga with a lot of chapters, and this is very aesthetically pleasing to you, then go for it. But just know, Kazuya's very irritating. Kazuya is just I think it's not irritating isn't even the word. Irritating is an understatement. I would feel much more happy if Kazuya just got written out of the story and then Chizuru started dating someone else. I would feel much more happy about that. Cause like I just don't think Kazuya is gonna suddenly become this self-confident man with high self-esteem anytime soon. And I don't know. Like I have to take this like a chapter a day at this point. Like because I already know when I turn a page, he's gonna simp for Chizuru, and you know, like we're not even we're not even being. I don't know. Simping is just an understatement too. Like I've never seen a main character talk about how attractive a girl's hair swirl pattern is. I never have until today. But here we are. Here we are. If you guys like this manga review and you want to see more of that, subscribe to the channel. And if you have any manga recommendations, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Bye, guys.